So I'm here with James Strachan, and since I have him here, I wanted to ask James. A lot of people ask me when should they use Camel versus Service Mix. They both solve integration problems. So if you can talk a little bit about that,
Sure,
I think it'd be
sure,
really helpful.
sure. Um, so in all walks of IT, the best answer is really start simple with the easiest thing that could possibly work, and then gradually add more and more complexity as and when you need it, right? So the simplest thing to get started in any integration problem is just download Camel, start with Camel, do some enterprise integration patterns, do some routes, integrate stuff together. Start without any middleware, right? Start with just in-memory CEDA queues and passing around Java objects. Don't worry about the middleware. Add in data formats, add in maybe some JMS, add in maybe some database stuff. Gradually add different technologies as you see fit in a simple iterative way. Eventually you'll end up with bunches of different routes which might have different life cycles. You might have different release schedules for different routes. You want to deploy these routes together. You're probably going to have issues of like class loading across different releases of different routes and different integration frameworks. As your needs get kind of complex and you're looking at deploying clusters of these integration solutions, that's kind of when you should start thinking about Service Mix. Just because Service Mix adds an extra level of complexity. Service Mix is awesome, right? But a lot of people just have really simple requirements. They've just got one JVM, they just want to do a little bit of integration inside Tomcat or Jetty or something, right? So start simple with Camel, have some fun, solve your problem, you'll like it, I'm sure. And then over time, as you start to need more complex requirements, things like deploying different bundles of integration fabric across clusters, dealing with class loader isolation level issues so that you can share objects across class loaders. You might want to upgrade Camel versions differently, so different components might use different versions of Camel and stuff. So it's a common question we get asked a lot. Doesn't Camel compete with Service Mix or something like that? Camel is just an integration framework. You can use it to implement the enterprise integration patterns. It works inside Service Mix or outside Service Mix. It doesn't really compete with Service Mix. Service Mix is really a container of integration components. Camel is an integration component, so is Apache Ode for BBEL. There's a whole raft of different components you can deploy in Service Mix. So the two are very complementary, but you can totally use Camel without Service Mix. You can start with just Camel. You can use Camel with ActiveMQ, you can use Camel with Tomcat, Camel with Jetty, Camel on the command line. But then as and when you need more of a container and a platform and an application server with clustering and failover and so forth, and central management and consoles and stuff. So start simple with Camel and then gradually use more and more Service Mix as and when you need it.
Okay, thanks.